So we're back inside at Axleboy Off-Road. We've got our 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport S. This is still bone stock. Haven't made any modifications to it yet. We have ordered and been receiving a lot of the components from our supplier partner. They're going to end up on this Jeep Gladiator. One thing that's going to be probably the most dramatic cosmetically and performance and everything else from the outside is the lift kit and the wheels and the suspension.
Yeah.
So right now behind us is bone stock. Let's talk about suspension first. Why don't you tell us what we have here from TeraFlex?
So from TeraFlex, we're doing the adjustable Alpine IR arms. IR stands for independent rotation. Now this is a really new product, and it's amazing in the fact that it uses a bushing, so we're going to retain the same sound dampening and the same ride quality as we would when we're stock. But the inner sleeve that the bolt actually goes on, okay, this is actually on a bearing, okay, and it's a sealed bearing. And it, unlike standard bushings where once the bolt clamps down, it's captive in the rubber and the rubber has to flex in order for this arm to move through its travel, the independent rotation allows free movement, no binding whatsoever. Now this is huge in terms of ride quality, in terms of flex when you're off-road or when you're on the RTI ramp at a Jeep show or whatever it may be. We get the best of both worlds. We get the reliability of a good rubber bushing, we get the flexibility of a flex joint, but we don't have the parts that wear out or that get loose and make noise like the flex joints do. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. We expect that these bushings are going to last the vehicle's lifetime. This is a new product, this independent rotation bushing, been in testing and development for quite a while. We expect these to do amazing.
What does installing an adjustable control arm do? What's the benefit for me as the Gladiator?
That's a great question.
What's in it for me?
So we're going to lift it, and we're going to raise the suspension. Now the way that the geometry works, as we raise, this control arm is going to drop down further away. Now if you notice, when this control arm swings down, it moves back. We actually lose some wheelbase when we lift it. It's just the nature of basic geometry. There's nothing we can do about that unless we put in an adjustable control arm. In this case, we can extend the length of this. We can recover our wheelbase. We can recover our alignment angles and our pinion angles as needed. So this gives us the ability to effectively adjust the front axle forward and backward.
So we can make sure that the front axle is exactly where we want it.
Exactly where we want it, with the correct angle and the correct rotation. This is going to make the vehicle drive amazing. We're going to be able to keep caster where we want it, which is important because as we lift it, caster drops out. Caster is the alignment angle that gives us stability going down the highway. We can roll it back in. So
terrific. What else do we have here from TeraFlex?
Well, we also have the new Falcon Series 3 shocks. These are the brand new SP2 shocks. Now, I know in the past you and I have talked about how nice the Falcon shocks are because we have the quick adjust knobs. So we can turn this knob and we can go from soft ride to firm ride or tow. Or if you're particularly picky, like I know you are, you can go into setting number 2, which gives you micro adjust on the small knob. You can literally dial in the ride as you drive. Now, the SP2 adds a new feature to it. Okay, it allows us to control the dampening. So this isn't as quick adjust or as easy, but what we can do, if you come in and say, dude, I am gonna run down a gravel road and I'm gonna run this thing hard. You can take the shock off and you can twist it, turn the bottom, and it goes into performance mode. Now, this isn't gonna be something you're changing in and out of every day. It's something you're probably gonna do on install, but it gives you the ability to take the entire shock range and move it to more of a performance setting or to move it more to a comfort setting. Okay, so it just adds one more layer of adjustability to these shocks. These shocks are made up in Utah at the TeraFlex plant, in the Falcon plant. Handmade up there. Everything is amazing. We've been up on this line. It's the most spotless, incredible thing you've ever seen. They've put a lot of time and development into this. And these are definitely the best riding shock out there for the JK and JL and Gladiators.
And it's going to look really cool.
Oh yeah.
Behind these
how do you go wrong with
wheels?
all the billet, all the anodizing, the badging? I mean, they cut no corners on this thing at all.
So I'm going to guess you've got a front and a back?
Yeah, so this will be the back. And so the importance with the back is So it's a Gladiator, right? So we're probably gonna load it up with stuff, right? I mean, bicycles, kayaks, tent. So we're gonna be taking weight in and out of it all the time. And that's really where the quick adjust knob is gonna come in for us. So as you add that weight, all your shock dampening needs to change. It's easy now. Reach in there through the wheel well, so make a flip and go.
Going down the road or as a daily driver, what setting would I want to put it on?
Well, I'll let you have it as far as personal preference, but I know when I'm going down the road, just generally driving down the highway, I like a softer setting. I don't need to really feel the road. When we go to the firm settings, you're gonna feel more input from the road. Now that's gonna be great in certain situations. So if you're particularly driving sporty or driving heavy, you're gonna wanna have that road feel where you can feel the bumps and know what the vehicle's doing. With that, we're gonna get a lot of roll control. So the vehicle's gonna corner better, and it'll be able to handle the washboard gravel roads. Because I know, like, when you're out camping, you're driving down the
gravel road.
Yeah, you know how it is. You hit the bump and you bounce off the road. Not with these. You move it to a firm setting, and yeah, it's gonna feel like you're zipping across the desert in a Baja race there. So really good stuff, very adjustable, tunable to how you want it. So typically when you're off-road or you're driving in, let's say, a spirited fashion, if you will, we're gonna put them on firm.
That's great. Well, thanks a lot to TeraFlex and Axleboy Off-Road. To learn more, you can go to teraflex.com or visit us at axleboy.com.